Hi, I'm Steve from Cold Beam Games. Today I'm going to be taking you through the early access version of Beat Hazard 3. There's quite a lot of new stuff to show. As you can see, I've ported the game to Unreal Engine and now everything's gone 3D. So all the spaceships are really nice, all the lighting's really cool. And now you can also do things like fold the ship, which I'll show you that in a minute when we play a level. So I'll just dive in and we'll play something. There's OST, original soundtrack. There's about an hour's worth of music. There's 3 tracks from Beat Hazard 1, no 4 tracks from Beat Hazard 1, which are really nice, and then a load of new ones. Let's do Biohacker. Now I've changed the difficulty system, so it's now a percentage instead of presets, which means you can, in theory, go as high as you want on the difficulty. People are always complaining the game was too easy, so now you can just go on forever until you literally can't play it. So it'll be interesting to see how high people can take the difficulty. Okay. So you can see all the spaceships now 3D, the asteroids are 3D. Just gives it a lot. Well, I think gives it a lot better look. So the new system is where you fold your ship. So you can fold your ship like that, either right mouse button or right trigger, and that's sort of handy for getting out of tight situations. But also folding the ship enables dark beam. So you can see the beam goes dark. And what that does, these ships have got, some of these ships have front shields. The way you take those shields down, like bullets don't do anything. Normal bullets, you have to switch dark beam on, and then you can rip through the shields and then kill the ship underneath. Let me take these guys out before they overwhelm me. And whoops, I'm dead. Also, dark beam, let me try on these, can also take out photons. So unlike in Beat Hazard 1 and 2 where you had no option but to dodge them, you can now take them out that way. And this, there's these shielded missiles as well. I'm not doing very well because talking and playing is tricky. Okay, so here's a boss ship. You can take down his shields with dark beam. Wait a bit. Take out his turrets and slowly bring him down. Oop, get behind him. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that the idea in EA is in early access to try and start off, I don't know, roughly where Beat Hazard 2 was, and then build up from there. So try to keep things sort of rough, add new stuff but keep it familiar at the same time. And then as we go through early access, which probably lasts, I don't know, maybe a year, something like that, keep layering on some new features, which I'll go into more in a bit. So I see this guy's got a load of circular shields as well. Dark beam as well, if you see, can also combat those. If you take out these photons, when he fires his main beam as well, you've now got a defense against it, so you can sort of cut through it. Take these shields down a bit. The photons now come in 3 different colours. Red ones will kill you outright. Green ones, if they hit you, will disable your weapons for a certain amount of time. And blue ones, if they hit you, will cause like this. I'll do it. If I get hit by that, it causes my ship to slow down for a number of seconds, which can be pretty, depending on when it hits you, it can be pretty crazy. There's super big photons, which I've added as well, which you can see there, which dark beam can, and then clusters of photons, which are also new. These others, as with Beat Hazard 2, there's lots of preset bad guys, but these are now procedurally generated bad guys. So each song that you play will have a procedurally generated bad guy. It's 2 of them that are unique to that track. So that makes it a bit more interesting. You've always got potentially a bad guy showing up that you don't know what they're going to do to start with. Okay, right, getting a bit hairy. So these shielded missiles. And the Reaper ships, that when they die, they fire off a load of missiles. Alright, 21. Alright, I'm nearly finished the track. That's pretty good. I know. I think I died on, was it 96%? As with Beat Hazard 2, each time you finish a track, you will unlock a new procedurally generated ship based on that track. So you can go and collect all the ships that you want. Now let's go into, I'll look at the ship hangar. So you can see here, these are ships that I've unlocked. The perks are sort of going to change, so I've taken some of those out for the time being. But now, hang on, let me go to details. You can assign perk weapons per ship instead of sort of globally. So I can go to a slot and put, the EMP virus or Sentinel drones. And the number of slots per ship depends on the size. So a small ship gets 1 slot, medium 2, and a large ship will get 3. Whether we keep that or not, I don't know. Depends on what people think of that. And this is the whole point of doing EA as well, is to get feedback on some of the new ideas and tweak and adjust them as we go. The next biggest thing is the mothership. So here's mine. Start off with a relatively small mothership, and so now your ships have a place to live, whereas it's been some arbitrary menu as it was in Beat Hazard 2. Now I've got a mothership that has hangars in, and those hangars house your spaceships. And the idea with the mothership is that this is what you use in galaxy mode to travel around, which I'll come to in a minute. So I've got other things like power generators, engines, storage, fold drives for interstellar travel, and let me do it. So as you play the game, you can collect what's called scrap, which I don't know if you saw it, with the little black blobs when a spaceship dies, and that scrap can then be used to upgrade and add more parts to your mothership. This is still sort of being developed, so I'm going to change the colour. So there you go, there's quite a lot going on there. So the main reason for the mothership is also going to be not only travelling through the galaxy, but weapons platforms. The idea will be you can find upgrades and elements when you play tracks. They can then be used to add weapons platforms to the mothership, and those weapons will then be used while you're playing. None of that's not implemented yet. There's something like, say, an area strike that comes in from the mothership and blows enemies up around you. So there's going to be a combination of ship-based weapons like micro missiles and EMP, and then mothership-based weapons which come in sort of off-screen and then attack stuff. So the other big addition is galaxy mode. What the game has a database of 5 million Spotify tracks, and using that in addition to your own music, you can now create an explorable galaxy. So I'm just going to swap over to mouse. Let me take you through that. So if I go to create galaxy, it'll initially create something random for you. So these are the galaxy elements. Let me just delete them all. So it's pretty simple. You can add an element, so you can just do add all local files, which anything you've got scanned in on your computer will just get thrown into a galaxy of local music, which you can explore. I've not got any scanning at the moment because I'm making a video and I don't want any copyright strikes. So the other way of doing it is you can add a genre, and there's something like 1,000 different genres come from the Spotify database that I've got. The most popular being at the top of the list all the way down. So if I just pick a few like dance pop, electro pop, you can see in the background the galaxy is being created, and then press done. Literally with a few clicks I've now got a galaxy that has 1,200 artists, 87,000 tracks, and would take 231 days if you're going to play every single track in this galaxy. There you go, you can see it. You see how quickly you can just take a genre that you like and just create something really, really quickly with it. So if I zoom in, each star that you can see in this galaxy is an artist. So if I click on an artist, each star system you then see there is an album. So then if I click on an album, let's go, each track in an album then becomes a planet. So you've got the star in the middle, and that planet is the track from the album. And then you can zoom in and out, you can fly around and look at them. I'll zoom back out again. So you can see the structure goes from artist, album, track, which is star cluster, planetary system, planet. That's how it works. You can also edit the form of the galaxy. So here there's twist, how twisted the galaxy is. The pinch, which is how close together the arms are. So if you have no pinch, it's sort of very diffuse. And then you've got the number of arms, so you can go to 2 arms, 3 arms. So you can really quickly generate some really nice looking galaxies. You then got colours, which you can change the star colours from in to out, and the dust colour from in to out. So you can really, so I just press back, you can really quickly make something really nice. The other thing you can do is, if you don't want to add the genres, you can do it by artist. So if you want, you can, there's loads of them, so you can just click the letter, or you can just start typing in, say Coldplay, and it comes up there. So now Coldplay has been added to that galaxy. You can see it there. Let me just remembered something. So if we just add Coldplay, we can see we've got one star cluster, which is Coldplay's 20 albums. But what's really interesting, because the Spotify database is all cross-linked, I can say actually include similar artists to Coldplay, which yeah, let me I just remember Coldplay was the only orphaned artist on Spotify. For some reason, nothing links to or from Coldplay. Anyway, here's a random one I've picked. So that's better. If I include artists similar to her, I get more. I can then do similar of similar of similar. So it's like 3 degrees of freedom out. So if I do 2 degrees of freedom, it's suddenly got bigger. If I do 3 degrees of freedom, so that from that one artist we've generated a galaxy of 23,000 tracks and 400 artists. And the other thing I can do, if I press the G, it will take the genre of that artist and add those to the galaxy. So this artist is lo-fi beats, so lo-fi beats gets added. So again, the old idea is you can really quickly create big galaxies from a few clicks, and it'll be based on the actual music that you like. You can also set Spotify tracks only. What that means is at the moment it sort of could be adding in some of your local stuff, some Spotify stuff. If you say Spotify only, that means this galaxy will only contain links to Spotify music. And what that means then is you can publish this galaxy so that other people can join in and play. So you can all be in this galaxy at the same time. And the reason that is done that way is because obviously if you've got local tracks in it, other people might not have the same music as you, so you can't really share it. So if you want to share your Galaxy, you put Spotify tracks on. If you're not bothered about sharing it and you just want to play your own music and you don't want to use Spotify, you can just put local tracks only yes, and that Galaxy will only have music that's on your hard drive. So that's a quick way of controlling that. So for example, if I just do finish, I've now finished that Galaxy, and there's the option to publish it. If I publish that, you'll be able to play with your friends. In fact, I've got a few here that we're testing. Let's have a quick look at this one. So you can see I've started here. There's someone over here. Let's go and have a look what he's done. He's also playing, and you can see if I do show ownership, you can see how he's travelled around. He's not actually captured these. The idea is you can go around the planets in the galaxy and capture the planets and the systems and the clusters. And because this is done via a database and is sort of asynchronous, there is sort of no limit to actually how many people you can have in a galaxy playing. So this is one of the things, at the moment it's just a big sandbox. You can capture territory off each other, but there's no real more rules to it than that. During early access, what I really want to do is make this part of the game a lot more interesting, have different rules, different types of galaxies, where maybe it's all competitive, it's who gets the most territory wins, or maybe it's more of a communal exploration galaxy where we're all trying to help each other find maybe rare items or rare unlockables within the galaxy. So there's loads of potential in terms of gameplay, and again this is partly why I wanted to do early access, to get some feedback on which direction to take this, because there's actually so much you could do with it. It's more like, well, I don't want to just get a bit more feedback from the players as to what you guys want. Actually, I'll give you, this is going to look a bit crazy, but this is one we've been testing during early access. It's got a bit messed up, so sort of ignore the lines, but you can see how many people are in there, and we've all been fighting over all these stars. If I put show ownership, look, a lot of mine got stolen. Well, there's a guy there who's in the same system as me. We're currently fighting. So there you go. I hope that gives a bit of an insight into the galaxy mode. So, let me show you, that was it. Galaxy. Let me just show you the mothership. So this ties back into the mothership. So here's my mothership that I've upgraded and built. Forgive the lighting, it's not quite done yet, so it's a bit too bright. But here's my mothership, and eventually you can see where other people are, but you can't see the mothership yet, but eventually you will be able to. And this is where upgrading your mothership then comes in. So if I press travel, it shows me how far I can travel with my sublight engine. So this is basically in a planetary system. You've got sublight engines, so you can see the green ring is my current range, and the yellow ring is my maximum range if I collected enough fuel. So when you're in the game, you see crystals appear. Yellow crystals are uranium, and they power your sublight engines, and then blue crystals are your interstellar engines, which for longer range travel. So I go back out. I don't know how much I've got actually. Oh yeah, there we go. So you can see my potential range is the yellow ring, so I could actually get all the way over there if I wanted to, but the current fuel I've got, because I've not collected it, is the green circle. So I can actually, if I let's travel, see if there's any, so that one's in range, I can go to that system, pick that planet, and I go, yeah, I want to travel there. So you see my mothership leave the system. It will then show you a quick line of the travel through interstellar space, and then in comes the mothership. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of the sort of basics of the galaxy play. Loads of people with motherships with different weapons platforms, all going nuts, travelling around trying to capture stuff, all to their favourite music. There you go. So yeah. Let me exit out of that. Okay, I'll play a bit of Boss Rush to sign out with. Boss Rush. Oops. He has a theme. Let's go. I mean, Boss Rush is again, this is similar to Biohazard 2, but obviously got big, massive 3D bosses this time. Snake boss looks like snake bosses look cool. They're all now 3D and do loads of crazy spinning. They look pretty cool. I've reintroduced the spider or octo boss, which hopefully he'll appear in a minute. Let's get some power ups. Dark beam can overheat. If you leave it on too long, it'll overheat, and then you have to just wait a while for it to cool down again, which is what I did there. You see that bar at the bottom, just so you can't go too crazy with it. Oh, there we go. Right, now I've got Biohazard. Another snaky one. Because we've now got Unreal, I can do things like put lights on the ship, parts of the ship, so you can get actual proper lights showing, which looks pretty cool. So you like, if you see some photons coming in, you can just dark beam them. So you get a spider box. Yeah. Some different types of missiles. Well, there's a couple of there's some twin ones that weave around. Oh, no. Boss rush before wave 10 is relatively easy. They don't go at you too hard. By the time you get to wave 10, it starts to ramp up. This will become a bit more vicious. So these, yeah, like I say, these green blobs will disrupt your weapon's fire. Fire just got me up, so I can't fire. Though these little ones here are proximity based. So if I get close to the ship, it starts firing at me. If I back off, it won't fire. See if I can EMP him. There you go. I'll sort them out. If you do an EMP on the boss, it will disable its weapons for a few seconds, give you a chance to take it out. Which is really cool. Oh, new boss coming in. Oh, weapon, this is not good. Ah. If you get hit by one of these big green ones here, got stuck. Yeah, if you get hit by the big green photon, it disables your weapons for quite a long time. Maybe, I don't know whether it was a bit too much. But you can get into trouble pretty quickly. I'll pass underneath the box. Okay, right. I'll just kill myself. Okay. So that's a demo of Beat Hazard 3 in early access. Hopefully give a good idea of where the game's at and where it's going. I really hope you buy it and hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to getting your feedback about where you want to take the Galaxy mode, the motherships, the game in general. If you do like the game, please leave a positive review, because it makes a massive difference to indie developers. Is really important. And if you don't like the game, please talk to me first. If there's an issue, you can get me on Discord. I'll leave a link in the description, or the Steam forums, or you can just email me, steve@colbeingames. And if you've got some sort of problems, I can try and help you sort it out. Other than that, I hope you like the game, and I hope I'll see you in a galaxy somewhere. Cheers.